Project's environment. Though the nature of a project is temporary, they are not performed in isolation. They work in a controlled environment and is affected by enterprise environmental factors, in short EEF, organizational process assets, in short OPA, and organizational system. Enterprise environmental factors refers to conditions not under the control of the project team that influence, constrain, or direct the project. Organizational process assets are the plans, processes, policies, procedures, and knowledge base specific to and used by the performing organization. Organizational system determines power, competence, interests, and political capabilities of people. You have to understand these influences as they are inputs of most processes, and you have to manage your project within them. The PMBOK guide terms both enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets as influences on the project because they can influence the project outcome in favorable or unfavorable ways. Both enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets should be considered in order to achieve successful project outcomes. This figure shows the breakdown of project influences into enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. Enterprise environmental factors can be internal or external, while organizational process assets are always internal to an organization. Organizational process assets are divided into two categories: processes and procedures, and corporate knowledge base. In the next screen, we will discuss enterprise environmental factors in detail. As mentioned earlier, enterprise environmental factors are conditions not under the immediate control of the team that influence, constrain, or direct the project, program, or portfolio. These conditions can be internal or external to the organization. Enterprise environmental factors are considered as inputs to many project management processes, specifically for most planning processes. When you see enterprise environmental factors as an input to a process, take some time to think about the various things in both the internal and external environment that could influence how you perform the processes. This will get you to thinking about how enterprise environmental factors affect projects. Enterprise environmental factors can be of two types: internal to the organization or external to the organization. Let us take a look at examples of enterprise environmental factors which are internal to the organization. Organizational culture, structure, and governance. Examples include vision, mission, values, beliefs, cultural norms, leadership style, hierarchy and authority relationships, organizational style, ethics, and code of conduct. Geographic distribution of facilities and resources. Examples include factory locations, virtual teams, shared systems, and cloud computing. Infrastructure. Examples include existing facilities, equipment, organizational telecommunications channels, information technology hardware, availability, and capacity. Information technology software. Examples include scheduling software tools, configuration management systems, web interfaces to other online automated systems, and work authorization systems. Resource availability. Examples include contracting and purchasing constraints, approved providers and subcontractors, and collaboration agreements. Employee capability. Examples include existing human resource expertise, skills, competencies, and specialized knowledge. Now let us take a look at examples of enterprise environmental factors which are external to the organization. Marketplace conditions. Examples include competitors, market share, brand recognition, and trademarks. Social and cultural influences and issues. Examples include political climate, codes of conduct, ethics, and perceptions. Legal restrictions. Examples include country or local laws and regulations related to security, data protection, business conduct, employment, and procurement. Commercial databases. Examples include benchmarking results, standardized cost estimating data, industry risk study information, and risk databases. Academic research. Examples include industry studies, publications, and benchmarking results. Government or industry standards. Examples include regulatory agency regulations and standards related to products, production, environment, quality, and workmanship. Financial constraints. Examples include currency exchange rates, interest rates, inflation rates, tariffs, and geographic location. Physical environmental elements. Examples include working conditions, weather, and constraints. In the next screen, we will discuss organizational process assets. Organizational process assets, or OPAs, are the plans, processes, policies, procedures, and knowledge bases specific to and used by performing organization. These are internal to the organization and influence the management of the project. Organizational process assets may include completed schedules, risk data, and earned value data. Since the organizational process assets are internal to the organization, the project team members may be able to update and add to the organizational process assets as necessary throughout the project. Remember that organizational process assets encompass many elements including processes, policies, guidelines, procedures, standards, historical information, and so on. Organizational process assets are divided into two categories: processes and procedures, and corporate knowledge base. Processes, policies, and procedures are usually established by the PMO and not updated as part of the project work. Organizational knowledge bases are updated throughout the project with project information. For example, project files, configuration management, lessons learned, performance metrics and issues, and defects are continually updated throughout the project. Many of the processes in the project management process groups have organizational process assets as an input, implying that you should review the pertinent organizational assets that apply for the process you are about to start. For example, when performing the estimate cost process, you might find it helpful to review the activity estimates and budgets on past projects of similar size and scope before estimating the cost for the activities on the new project.